them this week?
Finding a Mike linebacker. I want to see him step up, hit somebody in the hole, and make their reads and fit their gaps, and do all the things that a middle linebacker is supposed to do. So, but I want to see them be more aggressive than what they've been.
Coming into the season, Dave, did you think this was going to be as difficult as it has turned out to be to find somebody who kind of manned that position?
No, I didn't think it was going to be that hard. And the backup plan was, to use Gates in there, and that was kind of a hit and miss. But he is going to have to play some reps by situation at times in there. He knows it inside and out. I was pleased with Dietrich in the Georgia game, and I think the tempo certainly set him back and affected him. Plus, we had some new assignment and alignment things that he was doing, which was probably my fault for doing that with him. But he just, the missing tackles, and Ramo came in, he missed a bunch of tackles. So we just got to keep searching and use this 2 weeks right here to find us a 2 deep middle linebacker.
What have you seen in Willie Hitler so far?
Just being cautious a little bit, tentative at times. I played him a little bit in the Georgia game, I think 13 snaps in that, and he was just a little tentative. But, he's another guy. I mean, it's in the mix right there that's going to have to step up. When we play the LSUs and the Arkansas of the world, I mean, you got to have some size linebackers. We've always done that, been able to match up with what people do. We can play with some of the smaller guys when it's a speed game and tempo and all that, but when you play Arkansas and LSU and these type of people, you got to be physical.
I saw Sean come over and rep at the linebacker some today. What do you think you could get out of him?
The same thing. I mean, just trying to find Mike linebacker. I want to see somebody that step up and wants to do it. Going to do it the way we want it done. Play physical, fit the gaps, and step up in there and hit somebody. That's what I'm looking for. It's wide open.
Is that a position where you're just you feel like it's gonna be a revolving door based on the team you're
well,
playing?
Well, you know what? I hope not. But we do that somewhat when we go to different personnels anyway. But in our normal Husky package, I mean, we need a DT Shackelford type of guy, Mike Mary type of guy, and we hadn't had that the last 2 years. So we're going to look at everybody. We're going to look at Sean Curtis. We're going to look at Willie. We're going to look at everybody that we can. They may only be able to do a few things, but do them well and be physical when they do.
What do you give up with Gates when you have to move him to Mike as opposed to Stinger?
He's the best linebacker on the field. There's no question. His natural position is Stinger. So, I mean, we used to be able to be so multiple and bring him and doing all those things, and we've been a lot more vanilla this year because of the secondary, although they're making improvement, and I see the improvement as we go. But just that speed, physical, the size guy that you want at that position that can go out there and carry a number 2 receiver as well.
What have you seen from Arkansas going from Brandon to his little brother?
Yeah, been impressed. I mean, gosh, I put on that Texas A&M, and they beat the heck out of him, and we were blitzing him and hitting him in the face, and he was putting it right on the numbers. And I've been impressed. Seems to be extremely poised, and I don't know what others say. And impressed. He's running the offense, and I think he's exactly what they want, that position.
Where would you like to see your young corners, Julius and Jones, improve?
I think on focus on every play. I think that at times there's a lack of focus on them, and I know Jay's working hard. I mean, they're true freshmen, or haven't played much as freshmen. One of them's a true freshman, and just being consistent. Last week there was an out and up on one of them, and just you got to see it and experience, so the next time that won't happen. But both of them, I really like them, and I don't want to. Sometimes you can run those guys and throwing them in, but being able to mix and match out there like we're doing, I like what we're doing with it.
You said some guys in the secondary took a step back last week. Just where do you want to see that group go this week?
Just alignments and assignments. I thought, times at safety, we didn't fit things. We didn't come up and hit things like we should have. Just a hesitation, a quarter of a second hesitation can make a huge difference. And I think they'll get better at that. We'll challenge them.
How much of preparing for Memphis? I know Coach Freeze was talking about it earlier, just not seeing as much. How much of that do you think led to those mistakes?
Oh, I think Memphis does a great job. I mean, their scheme and tempo that they run their scheme, and they change things. Knew they would. They change things from game to game and give you different formations, and that's tough on a young group of guys. And it took us a little while to adjust to it, and then they did a good job. And then they run all the helter-skelter, hodgepodge stuff, you know, the trick plays and all that stuff, and you know, some things that our guys got to see more.